Hey, good evening. Welcome back to Let's Talk Marriage.
What is wrong with you? Every time we come on here, you always make me laugh with that old, hey, welcome back. Why is your voice so deep?
I can't help it.
You can help it.
No, I can't.
You can help it. You can help it.
I'm not Tom Joyner.
Oh, Tom Joyner's voice isn't like
Yeah.
loud or something, is it?
No, it's just soft.
Oh, his voice is not that soft. Don't be hating on Tom Joyner.
Nah, he did many years on the radio.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We are not Tom Joyner.
I give him his flowers.
That's right. While he's yet alive.
Amen.
Amen.
So welcome back, people. How are you doing? How
Don't
you
do
doing?
that. Don't try to don't cut me off. Don't do that. Don't do that. You messy today.
No, I'm not.
You being messy.
On it with you.
We are so happy to be back, guys. Welcome back to Let's Talk Marriage, where we talk marriage through transparency. That's how you were supposed to say it.
No, I said let's talk. Welcome back to Let's Talk Marriage, and you said through transparency.
We got to get it together. We got to work on that. We got to work
okay.
on it. So today we are going to talk about why men leave. It is going to be an amazing topic today,
yes.
I think.
So it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic.
I think it's going to be a real hot topic because, men, sometimes, women are trying to figure out why their men are leaving or why men do anything that they do.
Yeah.
And so I think today is going to be really, really good. We also have Minister Lionel Nelson, who's going to be coming in today. And also we have you guys where you all can come in and call in as well at 754-303-9976. Let me tell you, today I wore my Proverbs 31 woman shirt today because I'm feeling like a Proverbs 31 woman today. Let me tell you, I was good.
Yes, you
I've been good. I've been doing right.
Yes,
and
you have.
I've had this shirt for some years and I haven't worn it, but today I feel like I can wear my shirt today.
You can wear it every day.
Oh, you think I can wear it every day? You're so nice to me.
I'm always nice to you.
You're just trying to get a kiss after the show. That's what
I am going to get it anyway.
Watch yourself, brother. Watch yourself. Now you're doing too much. Don't do that. So I'm super excited just about this show today because we actually watched something a while back, like what, 2 days ago.
Yeah, and we'll share with you. We definitely will share it with you guys.
And it was TD Jakes talking with his daughter, and they were talking about why men leave. And then I also, we're going through some little different things here where you do have, a daughter outside of our marriage.
Yeah, but I'm not leaving this one here.
But no, you had her before we got together, which is good.
But we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that another time, and you'll share your story when you want to share your story. I'm not going to share it.
I'm not going to share my
But this is really good because we were trying to figure out who could we bring on with us to do this show. And let me tell you, we immediately both together was like Lionel Nelson.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all know
somebody that could be very transparent with his words and give some wisdom on certain things that we still yet trying to get some understanding on.
Absolutely. I don't let a lot of people talk to me and tell me certain things, or like a lot of men just can't talk to me. But this guy here, he is really phenomenal, and I'm not trying to put him on no pedestal because he's like, I hope I can just meet the standards. But he's a really good guy.
Yes,
and
I have to say, all the years I know him, I don't have nothing negative to say about him.
I have nothing negative to say about him. Even when people tried to discount his wife, I remember saying, "What? Are we talking about the same person?"
Oh no, that woman there is professional.
Okay, so we want to bring him in to get on to just get this started and to talk about this, because I know he would have some really good insight. And not only to have the good insight, he's shared on his show A Father's Note. He comes on at 7:00 before, so you guys go on Facebook Live on Lionel Nelson, and he'll be able to share more once he comes on as well to let you guys know how to find him. But he'll share some things with you guys as well. He's very transparent without having to go too deep, because some of y'all nosy. But he'll share some things with you guys. And can we just bring him on in?
Come on in.
Because I see him waiting.
Not.
Are you crazy? I wasn't ready. Okay, let's bring him in. You can't do this though. Okay, hold on. Okay, take a deep breath. Let's bring him on in. Come and get your friend. What is wrong with him?
You guys are hilarious, man.
This is too much. He say, not. Who does that?
Who's there?
You see my Proverbs 31 woman shirt?
Yeah,
I know you got one over there, but I'm finally can wear my shirt after years of not being. I can wear my shirt today. I feel confident in wearing it today.
God be the glory.
So,
hey, Elias, huh? It's a little while coming, huh?
Yes. It's a blessing. They say patience is of the essence.
Yeah. Patience is of a virtue. That's what they say.
It was the essence with you.
Hey,
this ain't gonna be no funny show.
The one that sing the song. It's been a long time coming, but
I can enjoy the fruits of this labor.
Yes,
that's right, baby. Yes, because you labored and you toiled with me, and we all right. Give me some. Give me high five. I love you.
I should deserve a kiss for that.
You deserve a kiss for that later. Minister Lana's on the show.
You know we married.
Oh God. Anywho,
and I hope y'all kiss.
The kind of kissing he want to do with, not going to do that on this show today. Please, I'm trying.
Well, to our main topic. What do you do when
you see how he just cuts off? You see how he did that to me too? I guess get to the main topic. Go ahead. I'm gonna drink my coffee.
When we call you and ask you about it, what do you thought about the topic?
Well, there's a lot of thoughts, but first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me. I just hope that I can live up to these accolades that you all have said. But we love people, and we just absolutely just believe in I think the only way that you can really teach people or get them to believe in you, you have to be transparent about your own life. Hey,
Mhm.
and let them know. I use whiteout, backspace, the eraser. My life has not been perfect. I've had
Mhm.
made some really dumb and stupid mistakes. But I think people need to see that and to know. But yet, still, even though you go through those things in life, you're yet able to to overcome.
Yeah.
And it's important that the key thing I would say, whatever you do, don't ever give up on yourself. Don't
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
give up on yourself. And that's the most important thing I would say. But in lieu to your question, why men leave? Um, yeah, I could say a lot about that. And I listened to the video that the link that you all sent me in reference to Mr. Jakes. I'm sure y'all probably going to play it. He was saying a lot of truth there.
Yeah.
And again, it's coming back. It really all it comes down to is the fact that understanding each other's communication level,
Mhm.
understanding how each other communicate. And especially if you compare that communication style, my communication style, if you're with me, with the communication style of another man, you're gonna have conflict. You're gonna have conflict, and it's important that that man does the same thing. Just because he understood the communication style of the last lady that he was with, and now he's with someone differently, and expecting them to communicate the same, even when it comes to you parallel and well, this is how my mom was, this is how my father was. No, it's gonna always gonna be some difference in that. So yeah.
One of the things that he shared in his video, and we should get ready to share this the video as well. But he was talking about how when men leave, they don't necessarily leave to leave the children.
Yeah.
Sometimes the children get a nasty hit,
Yeah.
and like like some women like myself grew up without fathers, some men grow up without fathers, and they're left with the residue of what the parents could not convey or commune with each other.
Yeah.
So we see all this passed down trauma because some children say, okay, like my husband did, well, my father might not have been there, but I'm not leaving my children.
Correct.
And so this is like a men's conversation here mostly, because I know there are people that are coming in, and y'all come on in the room, and y'all can also call in at 754-303-9976 if you want to ask Minister Lionel or my husband some questions. Ladies, I know that you're there. You don't have to stay behind the screen. If you have some questions, these men will answer, and they're going to give you a straightforward answer. You're not going to get beat around the bush
You
here.
know,
So what I find is that and I had to be careful myself, is how you talk to a man, because sometimes they don't want to stay in the house with a woman, especially after they are coming home from the world beating up on them. Then they got to come back in the house with another hackling woman. And so there's a scripture that says a man would rather pitch a tent on the roof than be in the house with a quarrelsome woman. And I'm just going to share this little story. I remember my husband used to sleep in the car because I would be in the house just raising hell, and he would be like, I'm not coming in the house. And I would have to calm down, and I would say, listen, come in the house. I'm not going to say anything to you. You shouldn't have to go outside and sleep in the car because I'm doing too much. So I had to learn how to calm down and learn how to speak to the man that's in him in order to get something from him. So I want y'all to speak on that a little bit, because sometimes women, they don't understand and understand their role or their place, and not saying it in a negative or nasty way. But women, we do have a role and we do have a place, and there is a way that you can speak to a man to get him to move without even sometimes having to say a word. And it doesn't have nothing to do with your body.
well, I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead.
this. Every woman do have their place. Their place is to understand their man. And once you begin to understand your man, you begin to learn how to speak to that man within him, to bring that blessing out of him, to help bless the home. When I was going through my little situation, not even when I before I got with you, man, even before I got with you, I was at the point of my life I was done. I was tired because I was getting beat up and torn off from every direction. Nobody didn't speak life into me. They was instead of taking life out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, I have a child. I want to take care of my child, but then I was getting put in a position where I was getting drained, even from the resource from even taking care of myself.
Mm.
And it's like, should I stay in this position of getting drained to the point where I am literally dying internally and outernally, or
Externally.
externally,
Yeah.
or walk away from the situation? So
Mm.
right before I met my wife, I told her, I said, baby, you were a blessing to me. Because right before I started to walk, you walk in. So when you walk in, you brought life back to me. And it's like people don't understand that when you find a virtual woman, it's a woman's job to speak life into that man, and that help him understand his place in his own home, so he won't run away. Because honestly, if a man don't feel like he belong, he's gonna go.
Mm.
He's gonna go. You want me to stay here, but you want it like that. You run everything. You make me feel like if I'm not even a leader in my own home, you make me feel like, oh, there's a problem. So guess what? You don't get this smoke. I'm out.
I wasn't ready for that.
So now you got to clean the smoke up that can be left a residue on our children,
Yeah.
because that smoke do not leave that fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some smokes last a lifetime. And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to clean up because now the kids are blaming themselves for the issue.
Ah, yeah.
or they
Yeah.
blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
No,
can you speak to that?
no, absolutely, because there were quite a few things that you said that, I mean, that just woke up old memories and
Mm.
experiences. And this is why that when I married the wife I'm with now, the lady that I'm with now, my wife now, one of the things that it was an absolute principle, and every child in the home, including my wife, knew that when you come through them doors at where we lived, when you come into this place, you're going to enter a place of peace,
Mm-hmm.
tranquility. It wasn't going to be no fighting, no arguing, no bickering, anything of like that. Because my thought process was is that we deal with enough outside of the home in the world, whether or not it's dealing with work, whether or not it's dealing with the marketplace, things we encounter, and then you have to come home and you got to deal with more contention. No man want to live in that, to be honest. No
Yeah.
matter how much you ladies might think, no man want to live like that, to be honest. He doesn't want that experience. I know I didn't. I
Yeah.
didn't want that for myself. So that was a common practice in which that was established. But I'm grateful to God that I had the wife that understood that and
Mm.
definitely supported making sure that we had a home of peace. This is why a lot of times when my children, they were very social, so a lot of children from other families, they'll come over, they'll always spend time here, be in the house, and they love being here because it was always, they felt love, they felt peace in this place. If there was
Yeah.
going to be any hell raising, it was going to be me, but it was going to be at an appointed time when things wasn't right. But nevertheless, though, even with that, to be honest, I had to learn how to uh, uh, apply the right amount of hell raising.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, absolutely. And no man wants to stay in a contentious house. That's a true. That when that scripture was written, that's a true, absolute, absolute statement. Absolute verse. No man wants contention. He doesn't. He needs a place of refuge.
Yeah.
He need a place where he can go and wind down. So I would encourage you ladies, it was like something that a point that was made. When your man come home from work, your husband come home from work, the last thing that he wants you to do is hit him at the door is, with complaining or
Yeah.
you didn't do that and this kind of stuff. He just want to come home and wind down, you know,
Absolutely.
take his clothes off, get a shower, okay, get ready for home. No, he
Mhm.
don't need all that what he done dealt with. But anyway, I could talk on about this here all night long.
But I've learned, throughout the years how to, like, for me, I think that when he comes home, the house should smell good and that it should be clean. I don't need any clothes in my living room and things all over the place, or the kitchen is nasty. I always tell my girls, hey, you're going to be married one day. Don't you at least let your house look like it, like he paid for it. You know what I'm saying? And so I always had the kids clean and things like that. I just never thought that he should come home to a nasty house. And also just learning more so now, a nasty woman, all that gossiping and all that foolishness and things that you're bringing in your home. Sometimes, ladies, we don't understand, why men just say, forget it. And then when you're wrestling with them with their children and they're trying to be a piece of father, and you're not allowing them to step in and be the man that they need to be, even if it doesn't work out with you and him, and you're keeping that child, or you're putting that child in the middle and playing with this kid, it causes a man to say, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah.
I want to play this clip, unless y'all had something to say to that.
Go ahead.
No.
All right, let me see if I can add this here. This is something new I'm trying. And this is TD Jakes here speaking with his daughter. And let me see if I can press play here.
In your life, the first victory for a man is that he didn't quit. Because most of the people suffering in this room are suffering from a life you knew nothing about. Some of them don't know who their father is. Some of them were abused by their fathers. Some of their fathers ran away, and the child thinks that the father ran from them. But in all likelihood, the father either ran from your mother. No, it's true. He ran from the relationship that was going on with her at the time, or he ran from the pressure of being this iconic individual that was intimidating for this 20-year-old or this 25-year-old individual who is unfinished himself, who is flawed
Can you
and
stop there?
broken.
Oh yeah, I knew you was already there.
Yeah, I felt it too.
I felt it. We felt that. Go ahead.
He said, he spoke truth right there.
Yeah, he did.
Now, my last marriage, excuse me, I did everything that I could to stay in that relationship. Even after infidelity had occurred. Even after children were conceived. I mean, I fought because I was tired of going through that cycle over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And though the other individual did not want it, okay, so I had to accept. But what got me was that my children, as they got older, they began to question me. Well, Pops, why did you leave my mom?
Mm.
I got blamed for it.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much I attempted to explain to them, no, it's not what you think. But it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they had other forces on the other side. It's ironic that we as men automatically get the blame for it.
Yeah.
Failed marriages, failed relationship.
But why do you think that is?
It's easy to blame them. I believe it's easy to blame us. Why not blame us?
And I think also because the thing that comes to mind is that the women are considered, quote unquote, to be the weaker vessel. So we're supposed to be, another thing that comes, I guess, because we're supposed to be the man. We're supposed to understand. We're supposed to be able to handle that. We should be able to fix it because everybody looks to us to fix things. Then if we don't fix it, then we're a failure, or we could be considered to be a failure. It could be a number of things, but he's right. I fought for it, but if it's a two-way street,
Yeah.
it takes both people. But if I don't want it, but if the other person doesn't want it, then what am I to do? But to accept it for what it is. And even though
Correct.
I strive to keep my children, be there for them, I still got blamed
Yeah.
for that failed marriage.
Mm. You know, it wasn't until I stopped and really paid attention to the man he was at least trying to be, where I said, let me get up off him for a second, because I was putting pressure on him. And I think for women, we are told that this is what a man is supposed to be, and this is what a man does, and this and this and that and this and that. And then you find, and I want to be very careful when I say this, and no disrespect to the people who had a hand in raising me, but you find some women who are where the Bible talks about don't usurp your husband, where they are doing these things, and it is alarming. So the man is just like, I don't know what to do, because you say you want a strong man, but then you want to rule the house. You want to run this and you want to run that. You say you want me to do these things, but you're doing all these other things to push me away. They can't even get a word in edgewise. I remember when, before I got ready to marry him, my uncle said to me, and I'll never forget these words. He said, always consider your husband. He said, consider him in everything you do. And I said, I don't understand. He said, you will. He said, because you are a strong woman. He said, but you're going to have to break a lot of that was put in you from when you were a little girl. He said, it's going to have to break out of you in order for you to keep a man. And I was like, man, you're talking crazy. But I understand now. It took me years to finally, and I don't fully understand him, because each, every year and day by day, and, as the years pass, he changes, but it's not changing into something weaker or less than me. He's always changing into something greater and better. And I see him just getting better and better and better with time, where for me, I can actually relax a little bit and know when he says that I got it, I believe him when he says it. And I think a lot of women, the women that are raising some of these women, God forgive me for saying this, ladies, I'm trying to be on your team, but I've just seen it firsthand. I want to be on your team, ladies, but I've seen where you will go in and run a man down, and then you say, well, why did he leave me? But you never once consider what you've done, because he can only be as strong as you allow him to.
It was a conversation me and the wife had a couple of months ago. And I said, sometimes because a woman don't see the man that she thinks she won't, she tried to raise that man.
Uh-oh.
And the problem with that is, just because you don't see the man you want, you need to allow that man to be developed by God. Because when you go and try to raise that man, what you end up doing, raising a nothing but hell. Because now he's confused and complex on who he is and his image of what a man's supposed to be. And then he began to scream and holler with turnover, where he want to walk away. He like, this woman is taking control of me. I don't want to be a slave. I want to be a man. I'm tired of being a boy. Allow me to be the man. Allow me to make mistakes. Let's talk about this. Let's come to reason about this. Because if you overrun me, all you're doing is destroying the man that's the enemy. How can you tell me what you want when you never had it for yourself?
Uh-oh. Oh, you've never seen it. Go ahead. I seen you
No,
writing over there.
listening to what you're saying, there are multiple reasons why men don't stay, why men don't leave. We can blame it on learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
How a woman see how their mother treated their father. I tell anybody, I'm not no eunuch. It ain't over here, because you push me, I'm gonna push back, because that's our nature. That's the nature of a man. We could blame society as a factor. And I believe it's even worse now that when we factor in social media.
Yes, Lord.
It's even worse. You can't believe everything that you see. Don't ever think that every marriage is perfect, because it's not. I'm a news flash. There is no perfect marriage, but the two individuals can make that marriage perfect.
Yes.
That's how I look at it. Who's raising the women up to be our young ladies up to be wives?
Are you on my notepad? You reading my notepad? You can see over there. Oh,
No, I
look
mean
at you.
you think of it. You think of it. You know, and you know, another thing just dropped in my spirit. It might be even how you see your mother treat your brother or
That's
your
true.
brothers.
Yeah.
And you take on that behavior and feel that that's how, you know, it burns me up when I hear a mother talking down to her son.
Yeah.
That really vexes me. So now this man is going to grow up thinking that he's going to be expecting that, or let's say he don't want it, but the minute he marry a lady and then she come at him like that, reminding him of what he got from his mother, he's going to draw up.
Yeah.
He's gonna like, no, I don't want no part of this. I'm out of here.
Correct.
Yep.
Because I don't have to stay here. No man wants to fight.
No.
And and then I don't want to go. Well, in all honesty, we got men. If you got a man that's very contentious, it's because he's not really developed or clear of who he is himself.
Yeah.
Correct.
Searching for his identity. I think it's the best way to say it.
Yeah. You know, I wrote here, because you were talking about who's raising the women. I was like, you know, who's raising these men? And there was a guy, he was talking and he was saying, you know, you guys wonder why you can't get a good man. He said, because you women are raising them to be this way. And he gave an example how. And I was like, oh, wow, never heard this before. And so what he said is that the little boys watch how the mothers treat the good men that come in. And then turn around and watch how they treat the bad men, like they're good to the bad men.
They come in and out.
So the young men are like, well, if I'm a bad guy,
you respect me better.
You're going to respect me better. So I'm not staying. I'm going to be here and there and do all these types of things. So as women, we you know, we're wanting the love. I have some single friends and they're wanting the love and they're wanting these things. And I'm just like, you gotta check yourself. You got to check yourself, because the things that you are allowing to come in and out of you, sexually even.
Correct.
The things that you are allowing to attach to you, and then you want to take it into these relationships. These men are not with it.
No.
They don't want to have to deal with that. The reason why they don't want to stay with you, it's not all the time because of them, it's because of you. Because, you know, I think that men are very simple in so many ways.
When I come home, and any man I was spoke to, even at work, we want to come on to peace. We've been at work all day long, dealing with foolishness, hell, other women talking down on you. You come in the streets and you get people yell at you, horn and blow at you. Do you come home and first thing you get is, wait, calm down. Let me detox what's out there in the streets first, so I can love you better. Cause all you're doing is you pound on all that pressure, and before I know it, I'm gonna be like a cat. I'm gonna pop, and when I pop, you're doing what? Oh, he's crazy. No, you drove me into craziness.
I'm glad we passed that part. Let's just hold hands. Come on, hold my hand.
The thing is you want a man to stay. Allow him to feel welcome to stay.
That's great. That's a great point.
That's really good.
You know, again, it's going back to a lot of one of the broadcasts that we had that you was a part of, Brother Ellis, and that was the fact that man wants affirmation.
Yes.
He wants affirmation. You know, he doesn't don't tear him down. It's important that you build him up. And if you are a woman that, I guess I could say this, it just don't take it in too far overboard. If you're a woman who strokes your man's ego, then he will feel that he's in the right place. Why else would he want to go anywhere else? There's no reason for him to go anywhere else, because you're giving him that which he needs, even in the midst of his flaws, even in the midst of the errors that he may make. He may not get it always right. You know, he even at times, if he do snap, you know, Are you in a place where it's that you understand him and you not snap back at him?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all follow what I'm saying? Because
Correct.
We got you.
that is so important. Because we're talking again. You know what? Let's be very specific here. Let's talk about the ones who are definitely married, and you want your husband, you want your wife, but we since it's talking about the men leaving, you want to keep your husband,
Mm-hmm.
right? Don't deprive him of those things, those essential things that he needs in
Correct.
order to feel complete as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that carries a lot, but when you look at the scripture, Eve completed Adam. My wife completes me. And what I mean by that is that the areas in which that I am short in, those are her areas there where she's strong at. And she understands that role. And it's not that she comes in or comes at me as to try to browbeat me down or belittle me because I don't know or I'm short in this area or don't have knowledge. No,
Very
she
good.
imparts into me
Very
that
Correct.
good.
I need in
Very
order
good.
for me to stand up straight, to
Mm-hmm.
stand tall. And she's doing it and giving it to me in a loving way. I'm not perfect, you all. And I'm not going to sit here that I've always gotten it right with my wife. But my wife, though, understands her role as a Proverbs 31 woman. I can say that because she has more in beyond proven that.
Yeah.
She has really helped to mold me as far as well, I'm going to say just mold me, help. She was a very intricate part of how I really cope with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
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 Especially
I think that's what women are here for. We're here to help strengthen men. But speaking of your wife, this is something that she posted here. Women need a positive role model, a mentor to impart wisdom into their life. Older women need to teach their younger women. I agree with this statement because I do call your wife from time to time to ask for some certain things that I need that I don't quite understand. And she does. She imparts those things. And 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 it's good to have, people like that around you because I don't accept um information or receive from everybody because sometimes people just be talking crap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, let me see because the Bible says that you should know them by the fruit that they bear.
Exactly.
So she bears much fruit. I've seen her in action. I'm just like, whoa, lady, you you are truly you need 3 of these shirts. And secretly behind her back, we call her the Proverbs 31 woman. That's what we used to call her in church.
hey, she
You
definitely
know, they
got
have this,
rings on me.
that I be hearing a lot of times, especially on the media now. Need to be a strong black woman. Need to be a strong black woman. But what happened to having a strong black unit? What happened to, because people don't understand that if you have that support, you can be strong. My wife is a strong black woman, but she have a very strong black man right next to her.
That's right, because I can't deal with no
And
weak
when
man.
she thinks she's weak, guess what I'm doing? I'm giving her strength, but wisdom.
Mhm.
And then what also came to my mind is sometimes people think, oh, I just gave him some last night. We don't always look for that to get our virtue, to get
Mhm.
our strength. Just the affirmation to say, honey, you could do this. Honey, you got this. Honey, you are intelligent. Honey, you are handsome. Things that give him affirmation that he's the man, that let him know that the mirror that he's looking through your eyes, that you see it.
Aw.
But to say, oh, but as if I just want your panties. Yeah, I mean, you get that almost from anywhere. But to get it from somebody that loves you the most, that's affirmation. That's telling me everything I need to hear to keep me strong. They make me
Aw.
want to stay home. But then I see a lot of men, I say, well, my wife don't tell me this here. My wife don't tell me, man, look, I'm tired of this. Or they easy to walk out and cheat on her because it's like they getting the affirmation from somebody else.
From somebody else.
Hey, hold up, let me get your shirt. Let me wash your shirt.
Yeah.
Hold up. Little stuff.
Yeah, because I can't send him the work looking stinking nasty. I'm like, brother, come on, let me help you. Look, I told my daughter, I said, even though y'all can't even see it, but I said, bring me some lotion so I can lotion up your daddy hands. Let me lotion your daddy hands. I got to make sure he look nice. And y'all can't even see his hands, but I rub them. Listen, so we got another comment. How do you do that for a man that never had it and rejects it? This is good. I don't know who this is, but it says
Well,
Facebook user.
number one, if that is that man, that let me know he don't know who he is. He don't know his place within him, and he don't have a vision for his tomorrow. It's kind of hard to say, "Oh, I reject it," but he never had it to be rejected. That means he grew up, he was neglected from love, showing how to love, how to give love, how to receive love. And because that's what I always used to tell a lot of young men at work, for fathers, it's their responsibility to show their sons and give the sons the tools they need so they won't have to feel rejected. I'm not rejected in my home because why? I give what I need and y'all give me what I need to feel strong.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take a different approach with that. And my approach is this. Okay, so you're with him. And when you put the comment up, the first word that came to my mind was the word patience. You can teach him if you have the patience. You can teach him if you learn the strategy. Women, as we've been taught, have more influence than a man do. If you are a woman who understands your role for that man, you can influence that man, even no matter how much he might reject your advances and those things in which that you're striving to instill him, or those areas in which that you're striving to bring correction, where he would be complete. He may come against it at the beginning. But if one strategy don't work, then you know what? Look for another. But just because you try one time and he rejects it, or he doesn't understand it, that you just give up. That's not the thing to do. I would encourage you. Hey, look, you got to be patient with them, because there's and going to what you were saying though, Elias, there are a lot of men that have grown up in broken homes. They don't know what love is. They don't know what love looks like. They don't know how to be affectionate. Okay, there are quite a few things that my wife had to teach me that I was not accustomed to, but she never gave up on me. She never stopped. You know, even if I didn't do it myself, do it for me. She did it for me so that I could get the logistics and the understanding of it.
Yes.
You got to have patience. If you love that man and you know that he's the one, he's not going to be 100%. But you two together can make him be 100%. That's what I have to say. And that's my response into the question, how do you do that for a man that never had it and he rejects it? Maybe
And
that's
then I would go further to say, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Am I cutting you off? You want to finish your statement?
no, I'm just saying it may be that one thing that he lacks that you can give him, that you can teach him. But don't expect it's going to happen overnight though.
No.
Absolutely. I shared that with a couple before. They're just now, trying to get married. And I shared that with them. I said, there are boyfriend and girlfriend roles, and then there are married roles.
Yeah.
And once you become a wife, there are different things that you have to know that you need to do. And on your knees, you better get you a little, pillow, and just, start to go ahead and put your knees in it and let that be your resting place. Because sometimes some of these things, uh, have no choice but to come through fasting and prayer and
Absolutely.
constantly reassuring. I had to reassure my husband often, not um, that he could do all these things, but that I had his back and that I would not throw certain things or
Very
regurgitate certain things back to
good.
him that he has shared deeply with me, and that I didn't try to hurt him with it. I did it once and that almost ruined our relationship, but I knew not to ever do it again. I never did it again. And the thing is that I feel that a man, when he loves you and he tells you that he loves you, he also needs to find safety in you as well. And when you lack that, when you don't know how to talk to your man, ladies, when you don't know how to talk to your man, believe you me, sister so and so knows how to talk to him. She know
Absolutely.
how to cook. She know how to clean. Her house ain't nasty,
And wash his clothes
and she
too.
washes clothes too. And I learned that from the old school. They say you better wash your man clothes, or sister soldier gonna do it. So, but you got to know how to speak to your man. If you don't know how to speak to him, get around
Yeah.
somebody that knows how to speak to him. So listen here, guys. You can comment, tag, like, and share. And you can also call in if you want to at 754-303-9976. We are on the line with Minister Lionel Nelson and my fabulous husband, Elias Carvel, and myself, Taisha Carvel here. But we also have another comment by Georgia Bryce Hutchison. Let's go ahead and put this up. This is a long one. And Georgia actually is she did some tutelage under our favorite person, which is Dr. Miles Monroe.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, this might be one of his godchildren, but nevertheless, she says the continued miseducation of the Black community. Women have been hurt and oppressed for so long, lashing out and pushing back, moving to the extreme has become the new normal. The strong Black woman is often the hurt Black woman in reality. What do you guys think about that?
Well, first of all, this is something that we learn, and when I look at it, it definitely speaks true. Because I was going to say something. You said it early in the broadcast, but I left it alone because.
Go back to it. Don't do that.
But
Don't come on this show and do that. Don't do that. Go back to it. Say what you're gonna say. We got time today.
You're the host, so But there's no such thing as I'm gonna say this now.
Uh-oh.
There is no such thing as a strong woman.
Mm.
Okay.
You know, you got to clarify. Come on, bring it in for the people.
I'm going to clarify. Let me ask you this, because you two said it. Well, I'm a strong woman, and I have a strong husband. Theoretically, are you as strong as your husband?
Oh no.
Not at all.
Right.
However, though, you can. My wife is not as strong as me. She still bring them jars to me to open up for her, and all those type of things, or lifting this or lifting that. But yet, see, we're talking about a woman knowing their place, understanding their role. It's sad when a woman wants to compete or be competitive with a man. That's not their role. So when they attempt that, then it brings conflict in a relationship.
You gotta bring it, clarify it a little bit more. See, I know you. I know you a little bit. Go and break it down a little bit more. We got time today. You ain't got nowhere to go.
However, though, a woman of strength is stronger than a man who's strong. Because you understand your role, you use your assets in a different way, in a different role, in a different perspective. You're not competing with him as far as being strong. No, you're competing with him because you're using your assets to your leverage. That's what your strength comes in. And going back to what you're saying about the miscommunication, the Black community, when you really look at it, that's all it comes down to, knowing how to communicate with one another.
That's true.
Every family communicates differently. and you're talking about bringing whatever communication skills or qualities that you brought from different families together into another home, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. So understanding that place of communication. Is there a lot of hurt black women? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But why are they hurt? What
Yeah.
see I think the wrong it's sad for us to think that this thing in which that we're experiencing with our families, it happened overnight. No, we're talking about 50, 60 years.
Yes.
100 years.
Well, no, I'm just talking about going back to the 50s and the 60s when women, mainly black women,
Yes.
decided they want to get married to the government.
Yes.
And moved the black man out of place.
Then get mad.
Going back, prior to that, our marriage rate was, well, let me first say, the divorce rate was, under 25%, where we had majority couples at 75%. Now the road has switched now.
Yep.
It has switched now because, I'm going to say it, because them same women who want to be strong,
yeah,
decide they'll go to the government to validate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do my own mic drop. Where's that?
What? Look. Go and put your mic drop on. Go and put, because we don't have that one.
Before you say that,
was I clear? I'm sorry, but was I clear?
No, you were very,
no. You
100%
clear.
Because he got to get his out.
Because when you look at the demographic in our home, and I tell people when I look at the home of a family, there is a what the word I always said, there is a divine order that God have for our home. And if you don't follow that divine order structure in your home, you'll find your home in a disarray where there's no peace because nobody have a place in their home. A son has to feel like he belongs someplace. A daughter has to feel like she needed within their home with her father and mother. And if the wife don't feel like that she have any control in that home can be completely out of control. Because now the husband looking at, well, I'm just sit down and look at the sports channel, get my beer and annoy everybody in the house because we in chaos now. We in Great Depression in our own home. And then we get mad and say, well, you got to be a strong black woman. No, we have to let's cut this stuff out right now. Let's figure out how to work this out together. Let's communicate. Let's find out where we're strong, where we're weak at. Let's get this together and let's become one home. Let's make our home peaceful. Because if our home peaceful, we get somewhere.
Yeah.
We could be able to see tomorrow. Now he could be able to hear from God because why? He understands his place in our home is I gotta bring about peace in this home. Some days while my wife sleep, I will get on my knees and quick and begin to pray to God.
Yeah,
to bring a peace in my home because I refuse to allow the enemy to come in my home and bring about confusion. Competitive, I don't believe in being competitive in my home because why should my wife have to be competitive against me, with me, if we working together?
Yeah.
But women need to learn that. Women need to learn that.
I think that the competitiveness comes in where, back in the day you would see, I'm not going to even.
Go ahead, throw it out. You started. No. You started. Go ahead, finish. Back in the days. Come on, let's go.
Where you would see, the it's like everybody wants to. I would tell people, I'm physically strong. And I'm physically strong because I used to box, and I'm tall, and I'm just physically I am strong. But God had to send me somebody that was like, my husband's shoulders are bigger than mine, his arms and everything is his physical, everything is just it's bigger than me. Not only that, when I just allowed him, I won't say allowed, but when I stepped back and I just said, let me just see where this is going to go, there was so much more that I was able to see that God just started to show me when I just shut my mouth. And there's a lot of peace in that, and just being quiet and just watching, because these men, I know for a fact, and I'm not going to speak for everyone, so I'll speak for my household, so y'all can say amen. I know that when I am quiet, and if I say that I want something, it takes him a minute. He has to think about it first to see how it's going to get done. I can see him just things just start computing. But when I'm quiet and I just wait a minute, boom, we got it.
Yeah.
I can see him on his knees sometimes in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, babe, hey, this and that and the other is happening. And I'll see him get on his knees, and I'm like, what you doing? Because the Bible says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and has obtained favor from the Lord. So I always tell him, when you pray, God says that you have favor. So let some of that favor sprinkle in over here. So you need to get on your knees and pray. And in the middle of the night, I'll watch him pray. And then I'll just say, God, I agree with whatever it is that he's praying for, because it got to be good coming for this house. It got to be something good coming in for this household. So, ladies, I don't know what y'all want. And some of y'all are not even chiming in. I see you on there. I see you behind the scenes. And some of you have sent me some text messages. Don't be scared now. Y'all asked for this. We're bringing it out, and we're bringing some good men in here. My husband is an amazing man. Minister Lionel is amazing. And I know other good men that would love to be on the show right now to just tell y'all why they just walk out on you. And the thing is that if you're not ready to adhere to some of these things, you need to stay by yourself for a minute and ask God to help you.
Yeah.
To heal your brokenness, to heal your heart. Because if not, you go into these relationships with baggage, and then you're trying to raise this man and you ain't even raised yourself. Put your mic drop on. Look, y'all ain't even got no mic drop for me. Y'all ain't got no mic drop.
Thinking about, I just thought about some, these young women are raising.
Let me take it down.
No, you keep that up there. The women are raising their children in the hurt that they are in.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
true.
when they're raising the children with the hurt that they are in, they are bringing about pain with the children.
Mm-hmm.
So the children grow up beginning to demonstrate the pain that their mother feel.
Oh, you've been listening to me. You've been listening to my stuff that I do at work. Look at you. I got to be quiet. That's
why I say, though, it's not that it's just like one quick fix, one quick solution to fix it all. There's a multiple of things that are happening here, but communication, though, learning communication, how to communicate, I would recommend that's the first thing, the first place to start, and not just waiting. And and then I'm going to say this: communicating is not listening to respond, but it's listening to hear what the other person is saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what, putting yourself in that other person's perspective, even if they are saying something to you you don't quite understand, it's nothing wrong with you say, well, could you break that down, or could you further explain what it is that you're saying? Because I hear what you're saying, but this is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like what you're saying. But if I'm wrong, then help me to understand what it is that you want me to understand.
And that's proper communication right there. Yes. That's good. That's
because many times.
Let's read this real quick.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's just real quick. So Georgia Bryce put up again. She says, sometimes it's not competitiveness. The reality is, if there is a void, someone or something will fill it. We also need our men to assume their place. It's systemic. We need both partners to understand their space and assume their posture. We have to be able to communicate our deficits, and that's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you do not know how to communicate. If you've watched people in your past communicate incorrectly, there's a proper way to argue. I tell clients this all the time. There's a proper way to argue. There's a proper way to get your point across. And just like Minister Lionel said, do not listen to immediately respond. Listen to understand.
I had to learn, even with my wife, not even just to understand, but also to learn.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to school, you listen to your teacher, so you learn a lesson. And within that lesson, you learn how to use the tools that the teacher give you for your future.
Yeah.
And it should go the same in the house. We should listen to each other to learn, how shall I respond to my spouse? And then on top of it, I had to go further and say, as a man, we have to put good men around us that could teach us and give a godly wisdom, so we could treat our life and our wife right.
Mm-hmm.
Because we spend so much time with foolishness. Like I was telling one young man, I said, how many hours do you spend looking at basketball? Um, Either the highlights or in the papers. I said literally almost 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours a day, right? I said, so what time do you have to even think about your life? You don't. How often do you think about finance? You don't. How often you think about how can I get something nice for my wife? How often can how can I love my wife? What did I did wrong yesterday I can do better today? You don't, because you spend so much on things that is not productive in the home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm learning now is I spend more time trying to learn how to be a better man through prayer, through good wisdom, and through love.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped me out a lot. And I now have a better perspective on myself and my position and my home, with also because I know my position. I believe you don't control your surrounding, you control yourself. When you control yourself, now you'll be able to control your surrounding. Because why? Because what is in you will come out of you and begin to change in everything around you. So if you bring in peace in your home, peace will begin to follow you. But we spend so much time bringing hatred in our home, and anger and discord and misunderstanding and misjudgment. Now we looking at each other like, oh, so why? No, ain't no why. It's you.
You mad today?
No, but it's facts. You angry at the world, but you need to look in the mirror and be angry at yourself.
You so handsome. Look at you.
I know. You so sexy.
Y'all have a guest tonight, so cut that out. Can I respond to the comment?
Yeah, we need you to.
Can you put that back up? I want to break this down.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it's not competitiveness. That's true. But she said that the reality is there's a void. Someone or something will fill it. I agree. Now, again, though, it's your choice as to what you decide. If that someone or that someone, is it a good decision or is it the wrong decision?
Mm-hmm.
Says that we also need our men to assume their place. Absolutely. And women, you can help them do that if you just stop bashing them.
Yes.
If you stop focusing on what they're doing wrong,
Very
and focus
good.
on what they're doing right. Again, we're talking about affirmation. I don't care how you look at it, how you may think about it. A man needs affirmation. Highlight the good things about him. And then you highlighting the good things about him, then you can strategically help him to work on the short things about himself.
Mm-hmm.
She says that we need both partners to understand their space and assume their posture. We've been saying that tonight.
Yeah.
We've been saying that. We're absolutely in agreement with you. She goes on to say we have to be able to communicate. We're saying that, but this is where I disagree. I disagree with this because she said that it is not easy. Yes, it is. It's not about whether or not it's easy or not. It's whether or not a person or those two people, partners, that couple, whether or not they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can be done. But do they want to take your posture, assume your place? Do you want to be the man? Do you want to be the woman, the wife that is beneficial to the marriage? Do you want to? That's where it's at. Because if we had a mindset that it's hard, because now here it is, we won't change, but we are being very judgmental to the person whom we won't change. So that's what I have to say to that.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. I told y'all we got a good person to be on the show.
Yes.
To help y'all out with this tonight.
See that? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
She says communication is not easy. I think having that mindset is the
You
wrong
reading way before. Look at you all on the things. Go ahead.
That's the wrong mindset. We got to stop that thinking that everything is conflict.
Yeah.
You know, let me say you something. In order for me to have the marriage that I have right now, guess who I had to work on?
You.
So it's hard working on me? No, not if I want to change. Not if I want to identify. You know what? I'm short here.
Georgia, you might need to call in 754-303-9976. You're typing faster than we can get them up here.
Well,
But
I'm gonna say it for
go
you
ahead,
further.
baby.
It's an old saying in the Bible that is a power in the tongue. They even power in your thoughts. So if you think things are not easy, then you're right. It's not easy for you.
It's going to be just that.
But if you believe it's easy, guess what? It's gonna come. When I started saying that my marriage was bad and started saying that my marriage is good, guess what? It became good because why? I believe what I speak.
You have to confess it.
So if I believe what I speak, guess what? It had no choice but to come forth because God gave us that God-given authority. They had that voice to say, "Hey, I am who I am. I am a good man. You are a good woman.
Right.
We have a beautiful marriage.
Right.
We're going to communicate."
Right.
Okay, so even with that, Ellis, you communicate positiveness.
Yes.
And you gotta want that. Instead
have
of
to.
thinking that it's always conflict. No, change the way that you think. Change the way that you speak. If
Now,
you
what
want
she
that,
say? Go ahead.
you know,
No, go.
yeah, I'm just saying though, 'cause yeah, you got people who don't want to change. You
Very
can't do
good.
nothing about that. You cannot.
Correct.
You can't help them. That's them. Okay, and that's the case. Then, I've been there and I've done it more times than I care to, but I'm not an advocate for divorce. I've learned sometimes you just gotta, as long as it's not volatile, no loss, no threatening as far as loss of life, no abuse. Sometimes you just gotta wait it out and believe and pray and ask God to just give you strength to do it because it can be done.
Exactly.
Now we got a caller calling in. Hang on, this might be Miss Georgia. Y'all ready? Put your seatbelt on. Miss Georgia, is that you?
Yes, it is, ma'am. It makes so much more sense calling in rather
Yes,
than
it's better
typing.
to call in. So go ahead. You have a question or you have a comment?
No. I just wanted to follow up with the comment I made, and I'm listening to your guest responding. So I needed to just kind of clarify a little bit more of what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Okay. So communicating your concerns is not necessarily the easiest thing. I talk about when I talk about what make the hard part of stuff is being able to communicate your own deficits and certainly being able to point out what your partner's deficits are, right? So if I'm feeling that there is something that my partner isn't doing or isn't showing up a particular way, that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. And as a therapist, you notice, sis, that how we communicate has a lot to do with where we come from. So the vast majority of work that I do with couples in couples therapy is helping people, number one, to create a space in which, an emotionally safe space in which you can communicate, find the words that you want to communicate, and do it in such a way that it is received by your partner. That's not easy if that's not where you're coming from. Right. If that wasn't modeled before you, if that's not your norm, right? So it's not to say it can't be done, and it's not to say that people don't have the intention to do it, but the reality is, especially for the fact that this is probably perhaps one of the most difficult aspects of relationship, being able to communicate, it has to be taught. No, the willingness piece of which I hear your guest talking about now is the game changer. If you're not willing, then it's not going to happen.
Very good. Yes. Yeah. Now that's, as long as we're all on that same page. If you're not willing, it will not happen. And we do in therapy, we have to teach. We literally
Yep.
It's tough and difficult, especially if you have different backgrounds.
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
also, if you have women who are not used to men
Yes.
having authority, and then you have to
Oh, they
teach,
take it hard.
that is something very, very, very difficult. We try to do it every day, Georgia. I know what you're talking about. I
Yes.
could, you
Yes.
were typing faster than I could, say that. But he is right also that if you are not willing, and we tell
Yeah.
this to couples all the time, if you're not willing, there's no sense of you being here because I don't need your
Not at all.
money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think about people with different family cultures. You have people coming into marriage, number one, where one partner is coming from a background where there was both parents in the home,
Mhm.
not necessarily the best communication that was occurring or conflict management that was occurring between them. Then you have another in the partnership coming in who's never been in a home where there were both parents.
Mhm.
Right.
Whether we want to admit it or not, that's almost like a recipe for the disaster. Unless again we're coming in with the intention of creating our own culture that's unique to us, or what is it that we want that's going to be different from where we're coming from.
Very
That
good.
stuff is not easy, but with the help of God, and if you're willing to do it, and if you're willing to seek help, and it doesn't mean that you have to go to a therapist, because lots of people find ways to get around this. They go on YouTube, they go to Google. If you want to learn, if you want to gain wisdom and knowledge, it's there. But again, ultimately it comes down to willingness.
I'm
All right,
still
guys, thank
struggling.
you.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold
So,
on before she go, because
oh, Georgia, he said, hold on. He said, don't go nowhere. He want to talk to you some more.
I am yet struggling with the fact that you use the phrase "it is not easy." That's where I'm not understanding, because anything is possible if that's what you want. If
That's
that's
what
what
she,
you,
I think
if
that's what
you,
she's
if you
saying too.
if you come into counseling, if both parties are coming to receive counseling, I would think that they're coming to counseling because that's what they want. Now, I don't, I'm not a counselor or anything of that nature, and I stand to be corrected. But if they're coming there for the purpose of learning it, I'm sure that maybe they don't understand that they need to learn how to communicate. And then you, as a counselor, are striving to teach that to them. Where is the part of it that makes it difficult?
Oh,
That's
let me answer this. The part that makes it difficult is because sometimes people don't come into counseling to try to make their relationship better.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're coming in to be able to communicate that they want to dissolve the marriage. They don't want to communicate nothing else. They just want to be able to have a relationship with the children and things. So it's not always to fix anything. And
Okay.
then sometimes you have people that come in that are true narcissistic, where they just really just want to have their way and that's it. So to try and teach certain people these particular things, it is very difficult, and they will keep coming and try to drain the life out of you to get something that they don't even want.
Yeah.
But
So
see, can I also add
yes,
this?
go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
oh,
There
we can hear
are
you.
people
We
who
can hear you good.
authentically come into couples therapy who want help,
Yes.
but they sabotage their own selves. And these are the couples that it will take months for you to work with them,
Yes.
to help them get through, cut through their own thought paradigm that's jacked up, cut through their own negative core beliefs that's sabotaging them, negative cognitive distortions. It's layers that you're dealing with.
I
Yes.
understand.
It's
So,
not that people don't want to change. Some of these couples want to change, but they oppose themselves because they're functioning off of an existing thought paradigm that has to be overhauled before you even get to doing the actual work itself.
And
right.
So
the
again,
main
it's
thing that she
layered.
said
It's
is
not that cut and dry.
the main thing that she said is core belief. So the
Mm.
core beliefs are what you believe that your mom or your dad, whatever they gave you at the very core of your
Mhm.
existence, that's what you think
Gotcha.
and what you believe that you are. Georgia, thank you so very much for
Yes,
calling
sis.
in.
So,
Absolutely.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye-bye.
so again, we saying the same thing, just saying it
Yeah,
different.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We saying the same thing.
It's
One thing I
what
always,
the person wants. If the person wants it, then it should. I don't see no reason why it shouldn't be easy.
yeah.
But if you've got old ways and old habits that's constantly that they're standing on, and they feel that those are the principles of because of what they've been exposed to and they've witnessed for themselves that,
Mhm.
no, I'm not changing. If anybody gonna change, you gonna change. I ain't changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
it's
know.
hard to get through
Okay.
to those
Just,
type of,
yeah, I
you got
understand
to
now. Okay.
chisel. You got to
Yeah, because
chisel.
you have people that they believe they know everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I told a young man the other day, when you think you know everything, you know nothing at all.
Yeah.
Because a wise man have learned that since he don't know nothing, he gonna learn something. So since I learned something, I'm able to teach what I have learned. But if I think I know it, I have not know it yet. Because why? To know something, that means you have full understanding of something. I still don't have full understanding of my wife. I'm learning her every day. There's something new every day I wake up. There's something new, different with her that I have to learn. But it's up to us to really to understand. Let me understand who I'm with. Let me learn how to communicate. But going back again now, those people that watch the communication between their parents or their mother dealing with other men or watching other relationship as they grow up, sometimes are very toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel, well, it ain't gonna happen to me, or this how women or men want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And they carry that to their grave, that this what they believe they know. And when you speak to them, they're very narcissistic
Yeah. It's crazy.
on their belief that this what women want. When you think you know what women want, you know nothing at all.
So look, we got a lot of we have some comments here. I like what Miss Sharella said, is that we have to renew our mind daily, daily. We have to be the change that we want to see. And we have another comment here. Carrie Johnson is, I feel proper communication isn't easy because some communicate with sex, with food, with gifts, but never verbalize what they, you know what? Carrie, you hit the hammer
Yeah,
right on the nail. We
yeah,
have to
hit the nail.
to uproot this,
yeah,
when we're doing couples sessions. When I have to do when having the husband and the wife in there, it is this is something. I'm like, what do you really want? What are you really trying to say? They don't even know.
yeah,
Half the time they're like, I don't know. They just want the arguing to stop.
yeah,
So then we have here again, death and life is in the power of the tongue. So decree what you want to see and it will manifest. And here we go. We're just reading some comments here. I've learned to become a better communicator by listening to how others communicate their matters. And then we go on to people agreeing, with, other things here. So what you thinking, Minister Lionel? What you got going on over there? I see your wheels turning. What you got going on over there? What you thinking?
I'm just, if you know how to communicate, then you won't have to leave.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
said
but
something.
let me back up though to something, because it was mentioned the word narcissistic,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see where that can be a problem with communicating, because narcissistic people, they already set in their ways, and you're talking about uprooting, old habits and mindsets and way they used to do things, and a lot of it's, again, it's because of learned behavior. It's because
Mm-hmm.
of learned behavior. So I mean, this is definitely we can talk about this all night.
All night
So
long.
many scenarios and things in it. Nevertheless, though, but I would just say though, if you're tired of what you're tired of, then just like what my wife say, to be the change that you want to see, and it
Yeah.
Yeah.
all starts with you. I'm a firm.
Change don't change until you change.
They say when a crackhead don't get off a crack unless they want to be delivered from crack. And it's facts.
I didn't know he was going to. Stop it. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you today? Go ahead. Talk about your crackheads.
But it's facts. A person don't change unless they want to change.
Uh-huh.
You can say it all day long, and what they'll do, they will mask it and pretend that they hearing
Blame
you,
others and blame
and they
others.
go right back to where they were before.
Right, right.
So it's like you have to understand who you with. If you with that type of person,
You gotta
pray.
yeah, you got to get on up out of there. So tonight is really, really good. Listen, guys, you can also find us. Guess where we are now? We are on iHeartRadio, and we're on Spotify. So if you don't catch it here,
And
for-
Amazon.
and Amazon. So for your listening pleasure, you can go on to, and we'll put it in the comments somewhere a little later today. You can go on there for your listening pleasure while you're driving in your car. You can just hit play, and you can take us along with you in the car. Yay. So you guys make sure you make your way on over to Let's Talk Marriage on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Amazon, and wherever else we at. We all over the place. So we're thankful for what God is doing in our lives. And we really appreciate you guys for tuning in every Sunday night at 8 p.m. We thank you so very, 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 very much. Minister Lionel, tell the people where they can find you.
Facebook Live.
Oh my gosh. What's the name of your stuff?
A Father's Note.
He comes on before us at 7 p.m. because he's not doing his stuff. So I'll do it for you. At 7 p.m., you guys can catch him before us.
And what I would say about that is if you're looking for some direction on manhood, check him out.
Check him out. Check him out. Check him out. Now, one last thing I wanted to ask you before we get off, because we didn't even get to play the whole
video, but y'all can find it yourself.
Yes, find it yourself because it's actually really good. Stop bumping that because that's making too much noise in my ear. Look at me telling you what to do. Look at how you did it. You're so handsome. So we have one last comment actually a question is what are some of the things that will complete a man? That's what I wrote down. What are some of the things that will complete a man? And men, I see you guys. Carrie, some of you guys are in the comment section. What are some of the things that will complete you? Put it on in the comments. And Minister Lionel and baby, I want y'all to answer that. What are some
I just have one word.
What?
Peace.
Aww.
That's one.
Okay. Am I giving you some peace?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with I'm going back with affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta add respect to them. But if I had one word, it would be affirmation.
Affirmation. So affirmation and some peace. Y'all hear it, ladies. Affirmation and peace. If you don't know how to affirm your man, please go on
speak
to
life in us.
Yes, if you don't know how to do those, please go on.
I'll give you an example.
He got some examples. I got my music playing in the background, but it ain't.
What you have been doing tonight. The little comments and stuff. The comments. Oh, you so handsome.
He is.
He's strong. That's affirmation. It's just that.
Yes, it is.
That's affirmation.
But I mean it though. Some people say it don't mean it. You got to say it and mean it, ladies.
Well, that's true too. Because with those things, that's what strives him to want to fulfill that even more. Because you're speaking to it. That's your influence. That's your power of influence. You're handsome. And you know what? You're going to do everything you can to continue to be handsome.
Yes.
Yeah. Like lotioning them hands. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
So that was a great that's a prime example right there.
Yeah.
Those little things that you all do within each other.
Yeah.
And you know how many men wish they had that? Wish that their wife would do that with them. Sometimes they don't even want their wife to touch them. I'm sorry, your music going off. Let me get off here. Let me be quiet.
I can shut it off. I have the power of the stop over here because I be thinking that people want to. I be thinking people want to go, I can stop it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that to reference to what you said. When you look at a beautiful flower, you gotta put some water in it. Not much, little water in it.
Right.
Sometimes you might put an aspirin inside of it, and make it a fever. Serious. Sometimes you might put a nail inside the soil because there's a lack of iron. But when you do all that little things to that flower, get some of that flower, begin to see that flower to blossom to something wonderful.
Yeah.
And sunflower give you lovely fragrance because you give them that tender love and care, that consistency every day. So if you want to see your man to blossom to a man that you need in your life, begin to water your flower.
Oh, you so sweet.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Now I'm gonna put my music back
on. Go ahead and play your music.
Carrie said respect, peace, affirmation. Carrie said he need all of it.
Consistency.
Carrie said I need it all. Give it all to me. That's right, Carrie. That's right, Carrie. Carrie has a wonderful wife. Nia Johnson as well. Y'all got to go on over to AMOE. I'm telling you, these people here, I love having these wonderful people around us. We are growing, y'all.
Yes,
We're
yes,
growing.
yes,
We're
yes.
growing. I'm not the woman I used to be. I can wear
Amen.
my Proverbs 31, woman shirt today. I feel like a Proverbs 31 woman today, doing great things in the Lord. Nevertheless, any last comments or concerns? You look like you sleepy. You're getting old, brother.
Hey, stop. It's been a long day.
Jesus, it's just 9:30.
Hey, that's all right. Hey, I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm going to continue to stay handsome for my son. For my wife, I got to get that sleep, y'all. I got to get that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
you
you
don't get to look this good at this age without putting in some work now.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Yes,
Thank you
it
for
was.
coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. I was glad to be here. It's a pleasure being here. I hope
Aw.
I've said something that was encouraging and inspiring and uplifting and educational.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it helps us. We've learned from you and your wife over the years, and we're happy to know you guys. What did she say? Yes, sir. Come. Oh, your wife said, yes, sir. Come on in the room. Listen, y'all married. Go on in the room. She said, come on. And you better not go to sleep. You better not go to sleep.
No, because influence gonna kick in. That woman of influence gonna kick in.
Go on in there.
Dessert.
Oh Lord, have mercy. See,
Oh, man,
this
y'all
is the kind of
crazy,
fun
man.
y'all can have when you're married to the right person.
Exactly. You both have the type of
Yeah,
fun.
you can't be no
Yeah.
fool.
Yeah, you can't be a turd.
Yeah, don't be a turd.
Yeah.
Well, I love you, Minister Lionel. Thank
Love
you
you,
again
Steph.
for coming on.
Thank
And
you
we're
for
getting ready
having
to
me,
sign off. Any last words? Is that it?
Any
Our hearts and
last
minds
comments?
clear?
That's it. Thank you again.
All right, because he's sleeping. Y'all know it's almost 9:30.
So guys, we're gonna
we gonna go to
sign
sleep
out.
on y'all.
God bless you.
Look,
Thank
look,
you
look.
for tuning
Look,
in to
look, look.
Let's Talk
Look.
Marriage.
Don't be trying to put your deep voice on me.
I'm gonna put it on you.
Bye, y'all. Hold on, Minister Lionel. Don't you hang up.
All right, then. Okay.